and welcome. We are here at one of the most celebrated seats of learning in the national capital. Young minds with hopefully great ideas for a better tomorrow. They get a chance today to talk to some of their political leaders ahead of the Delhi Assembly elections. This is Yes for Delhi. I'm Tina Sharma Tiwari.
And I'm Padmaja Joshi. Women's safety has been of particular interest to everyone in Delhi. The last assembly elections, the Lok Sabha elections as well, it has been a hot button issue. But has anything really changed, or has only lip service been paid to this issue? Why is Delhi not safer, not just for young girls and women, but for people in general? Has anything at all changed in the national capital? Take a look.
It's been 2 years since the streets of Delhi were awash with anger. A young girl brutalized. An entire population of women forced to keep looking over their shoulders. Then a slew of promises were made to ensure that Delhi wouldn't inspire fear in its women.
We have recently enacted several laws providing stringent punishment for such crimes and more sensitive treatment of victims during investigation.
I propose to set up a fund. Let us call it the Nirbhaya Fund. And government will contribute rupees 1,000 crore.
But despite that, little seems to have changed on the ground. The number of rapes reported in Delhi has gone up drastically, almost doubling.
The bad people in the society or people who have some sort of criminal records in past, so I think police need to be a little more cautious of that.
There needs to be stronger laws and stronger decision making, otherwise there is no deterrence mechanism for future criminals to commit this particular crime.
Give emphasis on women's safety, but how much it's happening, that's a question.
The latest being the Uber cab rape, again highlighting the gaping lacuna in the system. Measures like GPS in buses, more Mahila Thanas, more CCTV cameras remain largely on paper.
Since Nirbhaya, more cases have happened and there is no change in the safety of women per se.
There is no such noticeable change which we can notice.
Is the safety of women then a good poll slogan, nothing more?
On the issue of making Delhi safer, what are the promises that all the different parties are making, and what have they done in the past? Because promises, we've heard aplenty. Who has really delivered? With us from the Congress is Dr. Onika Malhotra. She is the spokesperson for the party as well as the president of the state unit of the women's wing of the Congress. We also have with us Dr. Sambit Patra. He's the national spokesperson for the Bharatiya Janata Party. They've spoken at length about how women's safety is very important to the party. The Prime Minister himself also dwelling on that issue.
Well, that's right. Joining us from the Aam Aadmi Party is Atishi Marlina, and she has a long list of proposals which the party has put forward as far as women's safety in the capital is concerned. So we're going to hear from her about that. And also joining us today, Ranjana Kumari, Director for the Center for Social Research. She joins us and she will be scrutinizing all the promises made by the political parties vis-a-vis women's safety. Also joining us among the students is a professor from Deshbandhu College. Nishtha Gautam is here with us. Thank you very much for joining us. My first question goes to Atishi. Atishi, there were many promises made as far as women's safety is concerned. The center has been responsible, of course, and since the Nirbhaya case, do you think anything has changed? Because we've seen a UPA government and then an NDA government at the center. Delhi has been in the midst of this flux where no one really knows what's been going on for the last 1 year. Has anything changed from Nirbhaya to Uber now? Are women any safer?
I think I don't really need to answer that question. I don't think one needs to quote any statistics. Ask any of the young women who are sitting here and they can share their daily experiences. The harassment a woman goes through when she enters a DTC bus, to the fact that the kind of stress you experience walking home from the metro station after it's late at night. And why just the young women? Look at all the young men here. I'm sure they have sisters, friends, colleagues. Every time any of them steps out, it's a matter of concern. So it's clear that nothing has changed. Yes, of course, we need a change in attitudes. Yes, of course, society needs to change.
But the bigger matter of concern is, why is the onus for women's security always put on the women and girls themselves? Why are women told how to dress? Why are women told don't go out at night? Why is the political class, why are the parties in power not willing to take accountability for it and say, the buck stops at us? We will ensure that women are safe. We will ensure that there is safe transportation. We will ensure there are CCTV cameras. We will ensure there are fast-track courts. And I think that is where the crux of the matter lies, that someone has to take accountability and says, yes, this is our responsibility, yes, this is a political priority, and we will change things.
Sambit Patra, isn't that the real issue? There is no accountability because it's very convenient for anyone who is in power in Delhi to say the Delhi police is not even under our control. Now that you are a government at the center, what have you done? What have you changed for the people of Delhi?
I'll tell you something very frankly. I mean, you have rightly stated that this is one of the most important and essential issues, women's safety. But ironically, a lot of politics has been played as far as the forte of women's safety is concerned. Less work has been done, more of politics has been played on it. Well, yes, I absolutely agree with the fact that the Uber cab incident should not have occurred, and I take the responsibility for it. I don't want to run away from the responsibility, but I would say that we have seen the Nirbhaya case and we have seen the Uber cab case. There was some kind of difference in the political reaction in both the cases. By the way, let me also remind you of the fact there was a UPA dispensation, there is a NDA dispensation, there was a period when AAP was in power for 49 days.
Leave all of that alone, Sambit Patra. The fact is you have to take responsibility because there was governor's rule in Delhi at the point and you have
I'm not running away.
Why didn't you stop it?
I'm not running away from the responsibility. What I'm trying to say is, well, yes, whatever we had promised in our manifesto when we released it last during the Delhi elections, we are following it. You'll be happy to learn.
No,
that
how
we
are
have.
you following it?
I'm telling you, give me
when
a second.
the Nirbhaya case happened, the BJP said Sheila Dikshit
I am
should
the one
step
who is
down.
answerable.
This time, no heads rolled
I am
whatsoever.
the one who is answerable. Just a second, Monica. I'm the one who is answerable, so take the answers from me. We had promised that, well, yes, we would increase the number of women officers in the police department. And you would be happy to know that 1,200 women police officers have already been recruited in the Delhi police.
But
they are in training.
They
are in training for 8 months. They are in training for 8 months. They would be on the streets fighting for the cause of women very soon. The Himmat application, which was launched only last month, I'm not saying that we have done it all. I'm saying the beginning has been done.
What's happened to the Nirbhaya fund, for example?
But the Nirbhaya fund is being spent.
Nothing.
How many Nirbhaya centers have you set up?
2,000 crores.
No, you have to learn that we have begun. We would surely take it to a conclusive end. As far as Aam Aadmi Party is concerned, we will not run away from the challenges. We accept the challenges, we will fight for them.
Okay, quick response from Congress.
See, I'm surprised the first question you put up to the Aam Aadmi Party, she says, I don't have to answer the question. Why will she not answer the question? 49 days of rule, they said. After the Nirbhaya case 2012, they came to power saying that we're going to have women commandos in the buses and we're going to set everything right and Delhi is unsafe, so on and so forth. And today she says, I don't want to answer the question. What we're doing from day one, because for them on the agenda, women's security was on the priority. Then comes on the BJP. बहुत हुआ महिलाओं पे अत्याचार, अब की बार मोदी सरकार, still the same platform. But if you see the UPA regime, if you see the work done in that, you'll be surprised. Soon after Nirbhaya case happened, there were a number of laws enacted. Verma committee came up, boys and girls, I would like to tell you here. And it was implemented. The law was amended, ordinance was passed. And there were a number of new things came up. For example, fast-track courts, in-camera recording, GPS system in the buses. But then, to implement that, we needed a government. But the government was no longer there. The Aam Aadmi immediately took over the charge. And then you saw 32% rise in the crime case soon after the Congress left this place. I'm not going to politicize this situation here, but I'm just trying to tell you, boys and girls, that we have to see the reality. We have to see who is working and who is just doing lip service.
No, ma'am, with all due respect, you asked the Aam Aadmi Party what they did in 49 days. What were you doing when from day one you were supporting them? Why didn't you put the pressure on them? But I also want to get in Nishtha Gautam at this point before I come to you, Ms. Ranjana Kumari. Does it seem to you a lost case that everyone is going to talk about this महिलाओं पे अत्याचार, बंद करो अत्याचार, but at the end of the day, they know that even if they do not do anything about the promises they have made, there's precious little that they will have to answer for.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, this women's security, women's safety
issue. It's like a great tagline.
It's a great tagline, and it's become a milch cow. Everybody is milking it, and taking political mileage out of it, and trying to declare or to position themselves as the savior of women. Whereas we, as voters, we need to ask
ask how many tickets are being dispensed to women. How many women
that's a really important
representatives?
point, absolutely, which we're
How
going to
many
put to all our
women
political
are
panelists
representing
here.
us?
Absolutely. In an assembly of 70 seats, how many women candidates do you all have? We'll come to that in just a second. But I'd like opening comments from Ranjana Kumari also. You know, is that the issue here, Ranjana Kumari, that every political party pays lip service to this whole issue of women's safety and no one actually does anything about it?
Well, you can already see from the political rantings that, they're all very worried, and they know that people have gotten very aware about it. There's heightened political consciousness. Boys and girls mobilized themselves. They were in that biting cold at India Gate, and the way the whole society at the moment is looking at the safety and security issues. But for making it a political agenda, they have no other way out, because also remember that women have become much more organized and much more conscious voters. Women in the parliament election voted more than men voted in this time. They have voted for safety and security. That was one of the reasons why they believed in whatever BJP, prime ministerial candidate had to say to the people, that we will prepare. But let me ask you a few questions. All the three parties. 49 days you talk about, you did not do any raids, you did not, there were no corruption and whatnot. Tell us one step that you took for safety and security of women after all the promises you made. And of course, 7 months, what have you done? 2,000 crores Nirbhaya fund, not a penny spent. You are only talking about, 100 crisis intervention centers, the standalone centers, which will be one-stop crisis centers that we had planned, proposed, developed the whole centrally monitored scheme. What happened to all that? We want to know from the government. Also, what are you doing about all kinds of schemes which were there for women in trafficking, so many other things. What is moving? 7 months, last and the least priority is women's safety and security. And least talked about UPA government, because they just kept making promises after promises. Let me tell you, I was also made member of a committee which was a high-powered committee, National Mission for Empowerment of Women Authority. 4 years went by. Prime Minister of India, who was the chair of the committee, could not take a single meeting. It's a shame. It's a shame, because on the one side, our boys and girls, our daughters are suffering, and there is not that a woman gets violated, only a woman gets affected, the whole family, the whole society, the whole community gets affected. Today, when these young boys and girls will travel abroad, everywhere they will be asked the question, like we have been asked, what, can I come alone to your country? I am a young woman. Can I travel in your country? It's a shame that India is presenting a picture of a place where no woman is safe. Look at Justice Verma Commission. Even the commission report could not be implemented by UPA government. Half-hearted effort was made.
Absolutely.
So please don't say that
and
people are worried about
this whole
safety and
mantra of
security.
fast-track cases, Nirbhaya's parents have come on record to say that they are appalled with the pace at which this case, ironically, which her own case is progressing. That speaks volumes.
We have some students who want to participate. You have a question.
We have leaders who are saying a woman should give birth to 4 children. We are having leaders like that in our country. I think the leaders affect a lot. And if leaders are saying and giving such comments, then where's our country heading to?
Okay, what kind of example is being set? One of the things that the Congress had also said was that there'll be more patrolling, especially on the North Campus, so that students feel safer. You study here. Do you think any of that happened?
To be frank, I just want to say one thing. So when people like us score a 96 in our boards and we get into college like Hindu college, your parents are obviously very proud. But the sad thing is, you know what my mom told me? She's like, are you going to be in Delhi? She didn't look at the fact that I was in North Campus. She didn't look at the fact that I am in one of the best institutions. She just said, are you sure you want to be in Delhi? So that is one really bad thing. And I've been studying for 2 years. I'm from Hindu. Nothing has changed, if I'm being really frank. When AAP came to power, there was a rape, I remember, somewhere in CP, outside the railway station. All Arvind Kejriwal did was sit outside. I mean, I'm sorry to say, but if the chief minister is acting like that, that's not going to make a difference. But what I don't like is, like, Modi is, I think, a great administrator, but he's literally just out of the country the whole time.
Let's start with you, Sambit Patra. 2 points. A, that all the promises you had made in the aftermath of the Delhi gang rape, you've let down the people of the city. And second, what kind of example do you set when you make these kind of regressive statements? Your members of parliament saying such things, and that's just the tip of the iceberg, in fact.
See, I'm humbled by the suggestions that my friends from the university have put in front of me. And without any word of arrogance, Let me put a few examples over here. We have seen the Nirbhaya case, the most unfortunate case in decades, I would say, and we have seen the unfortunate Uber cab case also. Here comes the politics into play, the political reactions, I would say. Rightly, the young lady over here pointed out that in case of the Nirbhaya case, they had gone to the India Gate. And what was the political reaction? The political reaction itself was a dastardly one. I remember Sushil Kumar Sindhe, the Home Minister of the country, when he was asked to go out and meet the people, I mean the students, he said, if I meet these students, then I have to meet the Maoists from Chhattisgarh as well.
No, let's not do
just a second.
What did you do
Just a second. I'm coming to it. Please allow me. Let's have a decent debate on this issue. Let's have a
Your
decent
Prime Minister said Naxal. What are you going the wrong way, Samit? I'm coming to it. No, it's absolutely wrong.
For God's sake, let's have a decent debate on a serious issue. I will not interrupt you. Don't interrupt me.
No, we have to because you're going to say wrong words.
Please, ma'am.
Your Prime Minister said Naxal once.
Ma'am,
to Delhi.
Yeah, let's not go in that direction. But you know, there are, as per
all I
said,
mean to
have
say,
very
just
specific
ma'am,
questions
please,
to
ma'am,
each
just
one
a
of
second.
you.
Let's not interrupt.
And
Let's
we'll
not
try and-
trivialize this debate.
Yeah.
All I mean to say is, yes, we had unfortunate incidents. We immediately banned the Uber cab. It's not that banning the Uber cab, gives us an excuse. No, we have to work hard. I agree to that fact. We are working on it. I'm assuring you, it's not that the Prime Minister is outside the country. For God's sake, realize we have real problem all around our border. All the countries surrounding this country, India today.
You're going to chop
This is not as pressing a problem.
Are in a situation which for
You
the
said
UPA
one soldier
has
and
not
hundreds
been
of dead
managed
soldiers.
well.
Country comprises of the people.
Both the
Yes.
issues are important, ma'am. Both the issues are important. It's not that the Prime Minister is only looking into the external affairs. The Prime Minister is equally concerned about the problems at home, and that's the reason as to why from the Red Fort ramparts it said that every family should also question the boys. Where are you going out? The boys also have to be questioned. It's not that the women only have to be questioned.
On the people here or on the government?
Two things that I want.
We have appointed, I told you, I have a list.
The Rajasthan Minister, Nihal Chand.
Nihal Chand
On
was
and on.
given a clean chit by the Congress government.
All right.
Ask Unika ji as to why the Congress government, who was in power there, Mr. Ashok Gehlot was the chief minister. He was given a clean chit by the Gehlot government.
Okay.
So every criminal who will be given clean chit by the UPA government will be part of the NDA government. That is what the explanation
Tell me, did the
is
court
going to be.
anywhere say
I
that
think,
Nihal
yeah,
Chand
you know,
has been
this
convicted
is
for a
out
case?
This
Did the
hitting
court
out at each
anywhere
other is
say
going
that
to
Nihal Chand
continue.
has been
But
convicted?
Shambit, we're going to allow Atishi to
Yes,
just make a
please.
quick point, and then we are going to have to take a first break.
I would like to say that as soon as we came into power, we got in touch with the Chief Justice because fast-track courts, we believe, were one of the most important things. 47 fast-track courts were sanctioned by our government, but unfortunately, after our government went out, neither the UPA nor the BJP after that let those go through. Number two, the Delhi police does not come under the Delhi government, so we set up a high-powered committee to see how home guards could be used for providing security in Delhi, and now we have a concrete proposals how they can be used. But I
what
think
happened
that
to the
one
commandos,
question,
ma'am? The point is
that
with the
is
commandos.
precisely the home guards
You
will provide
convinced
the
the
women
boys and girls
security
here that you would
force.
have commandos.
Second
Bring those
question that
commandos
I would
back.
like to ask my friend
Please.
Sambit over here is,
But all
What
question
about the
is, if
commandos?
you
What about
really
the
wanted to do all
convinced?
this,
No, children,
you should have
convinced
stayed
that you are
back.
going to come
You
and
should
get
have stayed back
commandos.
and done all
Each
this.
person is going to get a
But
commando
you ran away
and
to
be
Varanasi to
protected.
become the Prime
What happened to
Minister.
the
just one
promises?
question that I do have. You do have to answer the question about how you are going to make Delhi safe for women when your own members of parliament say things which are anti-women, say things which are regressive.
You
When
have
the
a Somnath Bharti.
When the chief
You have a
minister
Somnath
of
Bharti who
Haryana,
raids on women in the middle
So
of
what
the
is
night
this? What is
and
this
who
for?
does all kind of
Lie.
things regressive.
So you
and
have
you
to
question
decide.
others.
We take reactions to all of that, but we're heading into a very quick break now. On the other
things.
side,
Since I'm
of course,
in
no,
the-
we'll not two. We'll speak about many more things, but we'll talk on the other side about what promises are going to be made or have been made in the manifestos of different parties, if these promises even have any meaning, and have any of them even been implemented in the past.
Absolutely. And how many of them are really going to be relevant to the youth of today? What are the aspirations of the youth of today as far as women's safety in the capital are concerned? That after a short break.